few minutes here, just any general discussion that, anybody have any updates or thoughts that they would like to discuss before the schools come in?
Should we do a recap of the clerk?
Yes, thank you, I forgot about it. Quick recap of the clerk, did you find out whether Tracy was gonna be here today or not?
She said she was going to be in the office today, so if you have any further questions,
Okay.
then you can reach out to her.
Okay, the clerk did respond back to the auditor, and, discussion was to, take the part-time of 8,000 down to 0, the office supplies of 10,500 down to 8,500, and then the repairs and maintenance of 12,500 down to 7,500. So, and if there is any problems or there's something that needs to be, she has other expenses that come about, then she can always come before us and ask for any additionals or transfers that need to be done, so. Okay, thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
So the schools will come first. The Greencastle schools, they are a non-binding or binding. They're here basically formality, since they are a appointed school board and not elected like the rest of the school boards in most of this in the state of Indiana. Part of their formality is that they have to come before us. We really can't have no say so in it, but they have to come before us and submit it, and the auditor has to submit stuff on the gateway system. So just a formality, and then the fire districts will come in giving us the information on their budgets and what they've increased, not increased. That's the same thing. So airport will be the same way. Airport has their own tax rate also.
They make Jackie Kate read very well other than that.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll yell.
Since the coroner's
You can
pretty
turn
short,
that fan off and turn that one on.
since the coroner's pretty short and sweet, we can knock him out before the school get.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, mine will be real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, come on up.
All right.
You're in the hot seat.
That's not hot for me. I'm working a 10% decrease.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
So basically I submitted 10% less, this year. A lot of that comes from autopsy fees. The way I figured that was experience on our department. When someone dies in the county, it takes experience to figure out why they died. And if we don't have experience, then we have to spend $2,000 per person to figure out why. So I feel like the number was pretty inflated. So I reduced that by 15,000. I've reduced some of the other, let's see, repairs, that stayed the same. Increased the telephone due to the commissioner's increase. The office supplies I felt was inflated. Didn't need all of that. We've been very blessed with the number of deaths, and I think a lot of the fatalities out on the roads are where I'm seeing it. Usually by this time we have about 8, and so we haven't had hardly any. I think we had maybe 1. So that falls back on the sheriff's department and ISP for keeping our roads safe. So a lot of these numbers can go back up in the future, but I still feel like we're padded to cover an increase. So yeah, I'm ready for questions.
I don't have any.
Me neither.
No. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
He was here, his was easy, so we just went ahead and knocked him out of the way while we were waiting on you guys, so.
Sounds great.
You guys are good, come on up.
You guys remember Mr. Givney, and I'm Kelly Romer for Castle Schools.
The date on that is for my budget workshop with my school board.
Thank you.
So,
It's a great day.
similar information, as we have in the past, just kind of like to educate my board, and if there's information that you want there, for your own use, so be it. Just kind of sharing our primary, budgeted funds. We paid off our pension debt, so that's why we have the big X through that, so we're happy to get rid of some debt. Kind of just move on through, just, how we, receive our revenues for our funds, primary sources of them. The biggest thing is our state tuition support. Comes from the state each month on the 15th of the month, and all the different variables. There's 34 different variables on 2 different count days throughout the year that can impact our funding one way or another based on counts, particularly student count, looking at CTE counts, special education, exceptionality counts, and such. But I have our estimated state tuition support totals for fiscal year 26. So we receive our money from the state on fiscal year. Our basic grant, I'm sure you follow along at the state. They're touting, an increase. It is an increase, but it's not the increase that they're sharing, because they've thrown in our curricular materials dollars along with our state tuition support. So in the yellow, I kind of have a highlighted kind of what that amount is. So we receive roughly $158 per student in curricular materials dollars, and they don't track that separately. So that's kind of thrown into the basic grant. So we got to keep that separate for negotiations. Next page, just an overall comparison between fiscal year 25, fiscal year 26, and you can see what those dollars amount are. But again, kind of accounting for that curricular material. So it is a net overall positive increase. Just some, different things that we look at with long-range, planning. Obviously, looking at projected enrollments, things like that. But more critical than ever is obviously Senate Enroll Act 1. That's going to have huge implications to obviously everyone. And in particular, it's going to hit us a little bit harder than most school districts. Obviously, we know that people are going to hit the tax caps earlier. That's going to impact our property tax funds. But specifically for Greencastle and the other Putnam County schools, we receive a significant chunk of local income tax dollars. So just an example, $316,000 in 2025. And so Senate Enrolled Act 1 on top of that, I mean, that's going to be a big hit. We're planning for it, and that's why we like to carry a little bit of reserves to help get us through those opportunities. But it is going to impact our ability to maintain our facilities and our buildings moving forward. So we'll have to look at debt for that. Just our budget preparation calendar. Obviously, since we have an appointed board, it's the county council that approves it. But I have different steps throughout to involve my school board. So that's kind of our meeting dates to do that. Average daily membership, again, kind of showing you an estimate of that over the years. We're no different than everyone else. We're following a statewide trend, and that's a general decline in enrollment unless you're adding a bunch of new subdivisions and houses. So our budget was built off a projected net decrease in students, just to be conservative. And then the next few pages are just our revenues and expenditures over 18 months, and the levies and rates that we will seek to advertise. And just like everywhere else, we advertise high. We built our budget on projected assessed valuation of 8% to protect our levies and our rates. Specifically with debt service fund, I don't know, you may all not be aware, but when we did the big building project and the big borrow for our facility improvement projects, we told our tax payers that we would keep our rate, tax rate neutral. So that's still the plan moving forward. I think it was 0.6199. So we plan to, just this past year, we actually asked the DLGF to cut our rate back down to that level because we're actually approved for more. So we're still working to kind of operate within those guidelines. You can see operations, you can see rainy day. So again, just as with all of our funds, we have some reserves. We have rainy day reserves that we're gonna have to tap into in the future, because again, we're not gonna be able to sustain our buildings on, just our property tax related funds. And then, just normal budget considerations, I'm sure you're familiar with these and you hear these, just all the different sources and all the different, things that impact our final budget. I just like to include kind of rate and levy history. Left-hand side is our advertised side. The right-hand side is our certified side. You can see that we always advertise higher than what's certified. And then, just concluding with it, you can see our permission to advertise. You can see the rates, the levies, and then obviously we have the capital projects fund plan and the bus replacement plan that our board will approve. So, outside of that, I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
I'll add something to his, a little bit too. He talked about Senate Bill 1 and losing his income taxes. But if you notice on your non-binding review you did yesterday, or last night, the school, Greencastle Community School in their operations fund, it's anticipated their circuit breaker losses will be $400,000 greater because of the new credits that are on that bill. So that's something to
Yeah.
consider also.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. This last budget cycle, we projected like, I think we used the LGF estimate was like 600 something thousand, and this year it was double that of 1.2, so that's gonna hit us as well. We wanna be good stewards of the funds, and, you know, we wanna see people have relief as well, but we do still have a duty to maintain our facilities and our buildings, much like all you do, so.
Absolutely. Any questions?
Nothing.
Thank you both very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Fire district?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Leasing out 3 units. We'll start with Brookdale first. We'll go to Floyd and open that curtain.
God damn, you can't keep them all.
Yeah, you have to share.
I don't like sharing.
Oh, we know. Should have started at the other end.
Yeah, I can't.
I know. There's a system. These are extras. It's the only gravity one, apparently.
So looking at Rochdale, it actually doesn't say Rochdale at the top, it says RFPD, Rochdale Fire Protection District. You'll see that, the total expenses that we are estimating for 2026 appears to be decreased, but that is because of, the turnout gear and the hoses, we did encumber some funds from 2024 into 2025. So essentially, we're just asking for the same budget that was in place for 2025. We are advertising high, and they are requesting the max levy there at $114,909. And then we'll drop that down after the NAVs come through. Rochdale only has one fund, and that is the general fund. You can see on the back page, the historical tax rates as well as the lesson history. Any questions on Rochdale? Floyd is similar situation in that they're requesting the max levy. Little bit different for them is 2025 is the first year that they have been able to take advantage of their new cumulative fire funds. Nothing has been spent from that in 25. those proceeds in 2026 to start making payments on a new engine that they have secured. So, in addition to the cumulative fire fund, it also has the debt service fund as well as the general fund. No changes will be made to the debt service fund. And then the general fund, we are requesting a slight increase from 156,000 to 196,000. Those you'll see increases in the general appropriations such as operations and maintenance, 3 on utilities, and then the run incentive. That's a good thing. The run incentive, they rolled out in 2025 just to kind of see if it is going to work and attract volunteers. Volunteerism is going away. And they have, I think we are on track to max that out, that appropriation. So we are increasing that slightly for 2026. Questions on Floyd? Walnut Creek, essentially, we're asking for the same budget as we had in 2025. It does appear that we are asking for less, but it's because we had some encumbered funds from 2024 that we brought over for 2025. So total budget is $226,250. No spend is being anticipated out of its cumulative fire fund. And we are requesting the max levy there of $123,550. Pretty straightforward year across the fire districts.
So none of their circuit breaker losses, from new Senate Bill 1 were on your non-binding because they are a binding unit. So if you want to know what those are, I can let you know. I have it.
Thank you.
But they've never had circuit breakers before, and like, Birchdale is gonna lose $4,000 of their levy to the new credits up there.
Okay.
Just an example.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Guys, good luck today.
Thanks. All right, airport. I know there's a chair there.
Good morning. So I'm handing out 2 documents. The one with the colored front, I won't necessarily go over today. It's more for your reference. It's cash flows of the airport's 2 major funds. It shows, okay. The cash flows show 2024 actual information, 2025 estimated based off of the 2025 budget, and then 2026 based off of what we know today and the budget we're estimating. What I want to go through real quick is the other document that says proposed 2026 budget. These are all of the budget forms that are in Gateway, just printed into a nice budget book. We are, if you look at the center of the notice to taxpayers, you'll see that the levy that's being requested is $685,000. That is inflated, just like the last person said, we inflate it until NAVs come out. That levy that's being shown is actually what gets the tax rate to the max that the county will allow. So with that being said, the levy that the airport is allowed based off of the maximum levy is actually less than that. So the airport's gonna come in under the tax rate that you guys put it at cap, which is good, in my opinion. So just wanted to point that out. The airport will be requesting their maximum levy, which is just 4% more than what it was in the prior year. If you go to the next page, the Form 4, that illustrates what I just said. The inflated levy gets us to the 3-cent tax rate, which again will end up coming in lower. And then you can also see on that ordinance that the budget that's being proposed for the airport is $1 million. That's just slightly higher than last year. Again, that accounts for the 4% growth in the levy, more ability to spend. And then there's a detailed breakout on the Form 1 of what is included in the budget. And that's it. Do you guys have any questions about the airport?
Toward the bottom of your budget, you've got $377,000 for infrastructure and sustained preparation. Is that a new project or? It's the second to last item.
Land prep, yeah, that's what we call the line item that they spit out of every year for their different capital projects. That's just what we rolled with.
Not one big new project then?
No, we have a list, or Rex made up a list of projects, just in case it was asked about, but they have projects every year.
Yeah.
And they just spend as they do their projects. And in the cumulative building fund, it's the very last piece of the Form 1. You'll see that hangar upgrades of $250,000 is the budget. That's a little different than in the past because they had debt being paid out of the cumulative building fund. They actually, in order to avoid interest costs, they had made a debt pay down in 2023, and then last year they actually paid off their debt and finished it off, which was great. So that fund will be used accordingly in the future for capital projects, which is its other intent, either to pay debt or do capital projects. And there's one thing I want to point out in these cash flows, just if you're looking through them in the future, this is kind of an anomaly and I just want you to know what it is. If you go to page 3, line 19, there's a line that says transfer out interest correction in 2025. It's for $12,111. That's just something that I had their CPA change how they handled something because they typically do accrual basis financials and governmental units are typically on a cash basis. So I had them, they were showing a negative receipt. I had them just transfer the money out because it's supposed to be going into rainy day fund. So that's not necessarily normal. It's an anomaly for this year. I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. Other than that, everything's pretty basic. Looks just like it does in the past. Any other questions for me or the other two? No?
I don't think so.
Alrighty.
No?
Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you guys again.
Thank you guys.
smaller county, obviously. We represent 52,882 residents. The district's focus is on eliminating trash from landfills, so landfills aren't overflowing. So we educate and provide programs to residents about recycling, waste reduction, reuse. We also have yard waste sites. We have electronic recycling days to deal with electronics that people can't put in the trash. And we have, probably what we're best known for is our Tox-Away days, which we do toxic and hazardous materials. We collect those, as well as tires, appliances, and electronics. So we have those events. As far as our current budget, it's $293,300. Our proposed budget for next year is $304,800, which is an increase of 3.9%. The contributing factors for the increase would be the rural recycling center contract will be going up in January by 5%, and we anticipate the clean out of the yard waste site contract going up to 10% from last year, or from this current year. Our budget expenses I put on here just so you kind of know what our per capita cost is for our budget expense for the years. At ending 2024, we were at $4.88 per person, compared to the state average for solid waste districts at $20.82 per person. So we are one of the lowest in the state as far as per person expenses for our programs. And for this year, you're probably already aware that we're asking $3 per person on the county contribution, which comes out of the hazardous waste fund, not tax dollars for Putnam County. I did include in blue what our funding sources are, if you're having interest in that. We're pretty limited on our funding sources. We do currently have 2 grants through IDEM for our tires, one for $10,000, one for $15,000. So that helps us with continuing that tire program and the Tox-Away days. And then I put a list of what solid waste districts do on the back in case you're not totally familiar with who we are, what we do. Is there any questions about us or anything that we're doing or anything you'd like to know? I'll try to answer.
Are the
I didn't
other,
have a buddy bench.
are the other solid waste districts like around the state, are they set up similar to this one? Why is there such
They
a
vary.
disparity in
They vary.
price?
Some have permanent facilities as far as like hazardous waste facilities. They're some of the larger ones that have, like, especially if they have landfill tax dollars or landfill money tipping fees coming in. They may have a permanent facility, but a good majority of them are either similar to us or doing less than us. A lot of them only have recycling drop-off centers. Not all of them have the hazardous side, which is the most expensive part. One Tox-Away day will be $30,000 to $35,000 just for that one-day event, because the material is so hard to properly dispose of and has to go through proper channels. It has to be through permitted companies to do so. But yes.
And a lot of counties I've found in my travels, my work or whatever, they actually, their highway departments run a recycling center in addition to their highway department. So they have their own recycling center as a county
Yes,
entity
some
also.
do.
Yeah. I thought that was
But
interesting.
their costs are quite a bit higher too. If you
Yes.
look at the per person cost, they're usually between $12 and $20 a person. We looked at that in the past, and that's why we stayed with just contracting that out and doing the rural sites, because a lot of the cities already have, in-town bins and programs for curbside. And so we don't compete with that, but we add to that to assist the residents that are more in the rural areas that don't have access.
Anybody got anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
that she's warm. It is warm in here.
I am comfortable.
I would be at my jacket off,
I'm in a tank top dress
but I can hear it from here. This fan's loud.
with my stripes
They
on
usually turn them off because it's-
again.
I could have showed up that way.
You're right, totally right.
Hey, you're awfully quiet down there. It's okay, I'll liven it up for the both of us.
I know, right?
You gonna join us all day? Just gonna hang out? It's okay, we'll allow it. Yeah. We'll allow it. It's awfully comfy.
Well, Lisa's always early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, she's not, I mean, she's just always early to all of her meetings.
Okay, he says I'll go get her.
I didn't mean for him to go get her.
Oh, you know it's gonna be the highlight of his day.
Right. Well, do we have any questions for Jackie while we're waiting, as far as like all these binding and non-binding budgets that we just sat through and listened to?
What am I doing?
You're
Nothing.
answering all of the stuffs.
I just asked them if they have any questions for all the fire, the airport, anything like
Those are
that.
binding, so they don't show up on that non-binding list.
Right.
And
And they'll come back before us.
you also, I don't know if we have a comparison of last year's, line by line item budget
Mm-hmm.
for any of them.
Oh, I might.
We could get them, we could go into Gateway and get them and print them off for you if you wanted to compare line item by line item. I don't know that it's important, but it
Because
might
we
be.
really don't have any, we have a say-so, but we don't really have much of
You
a
have
say-so.
total say-so of their budgets. You have total say-so of their budgets.
But we've never really gone against anything that they've ever presented in years past.
They've always submitted within. That does, I mean, you still have authority over, I'm gonna use the airport as an example. If they start to do something out there that the county is opposed to,
Mhm.
you have the ability to stop it with fiscal aspect.
And in the past too, they don't, because they don't go through our budget program, they don't give you, their budgets really until they show up.
No.
So you can start making them, give it to me or you prior
Ahead of
to
time.
this workshop, so you have time to review it.
Okay.
You think they'll approve the, going to the highest point of the levy?
Well, they're at their max levy.
I thought he was asking to go to the highest.
No, he
No,
turned it in at their max
At the
levy.
max.
Everybody will
Yeah.
advertise over max.
Absolutely.
We all do.
Yeah.
To allow for, we don't know what those final, assessed values are. And so we'll hit it over max with a lower, net assessed value. We use that 85%. And to ensure that when we adopt both a high enough levy and a high enough tax rate, because that's the max. I don't know if you remember last year, I believe it was, Baker Tilly came in with the airport, and the year before, they had made a mistake, and they advertised right on, and they had made a mistake. And when it came down to the adoption, they weren't able to, when the DLGF worked it, they weren't able to get what they thought they were gonna get because of the mistake. So that's why you advertise
Advertise high.
higher. I think they had used the full, they had used
joy in doing that.
Yeah.
You know, he walks in my office and goes like this.
You're good. And honestly, I thought, well, we could just go ahead, because there's really not much to your budget, so.
There's not much to my budget, but I did wanna, talk about a couple of things that we can actually cut that I didn't know when I submitted the budget.
Okay.
So specifically, the 40401 equipment at 15,000. We put that in there because we were gonna need a new server and we weren't sure when we were gonna actually get it. Our server went semi down and so DJ said we need it now,
So you've already purchased it.
we purchased it, so we can, drop that to 5,000
Okay.
instead of the 15,000.
Okay, thank you.
And then the other one, because the plat office is also in our office, they have an office supply budget and we have an office supply budget. And I'm like, that's crazy, let's just combine them two together. So instead of having $5,000 for office supplies, so that's the building department's at 2,000 and the office is at 3,000. Just cut that to 3,000 instead of 5,000 and just make it one, like, can we do that? Put it in one thing and it's just.
So you wanna take
both
the
of
2,000
us.
away from your 1180 fund and leave the 3,000 and the 1181?
Yes. Yes.
Say that again.
Also, I can't get into
So-
office stuff to
So
find out
we're
what's
cutting,
$2,000.
so in her 1180,
But I can
2,000, we're taking that
pay
down to
those
nothing.
invoices, so.
And then we're gonna leave the slats at 3,000.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, as long as we got it right.
As long as it's 3,000, I don't care where it's at.
Yeah.
And that's only because there's big rolls of paper for the big plotters that are more expensive than
And
some
they
of the
are.
other stuff. So I'm keeping that at 3,000, that might be able to come down depending on, what we do later. The other thing, that I wanted to ask, and I don't know if this is the right place to ask it, but I'll ask it. We have, in the planning and building department, we have a budget of 19,000 for a part-time person that we don't currently use. So I'm wondering if I could use that 19,000 and hire, an off-duty off-duty officer, to be at the planning commission and BZA meetings that I would pay through our budget that we already have. So it wouldn't be an additional expense to the county, it would just come out of that 19,000 that we have for a part-time employee. It would just be for the meetings, if we have, when we have them. So sometimes we cancel them because there's no items on the agenda, or we only have one instead of two, so. I would talk to Sheriff Ball about who could do that, but wanted to approach that.
Go to Jackie, anything that would restrict that?
Nothing wrong with it, only if you use one of his employees, remember that any time they work could be overtime, so it's gotta run through payroll. And you would have to be paying them at a time and a half rate, not a rate you set. So, because they're working full-time.
But if you asked for just throwing this out there, a city employee, which is not a county
Yeah.
employee, then she could pay them at whatever rate that they agreed upon. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I didn't know if it should be sheriff or city, because technically we are in the city, and
Right,
city
but we're a
is
county
fine with their-
entity,
but
so-
we're a county entity, so who would actually control that, so.
I think that would be up to you and whichever,
Whichever.
who you could do it with.
So
Agree.
maybe I'll just get an. I probably would start with the sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, start with our officers and,
But it would be more costly, because you have to pay them at that.
Overtime.
Once they hit their time, you're gonna be paying them time and a half. Unless it was somebody that was, we'll figure it out. Okay, I just wanted to ask that before I actually approach that for
I
next
mean,
year, so.
does anybody have any problems with that? I don't.
I mean, that seems like an easier solution for your meetings than
Yeah,
trying to hire somebody and then still trying to have somebody here after hours.
Yeah.
'Cause, so, I like it.
we're still working on all that too, so.
Right, and it's just something that I thought of this morning, it's like, wait a minute, I have this fund that I'm not using currently.
would you anticipate using most of that, or small part of that?
I would say
I'm just
probably a
curious.
small part of it, because our meetings typically, we have 2 meetings, but they're typically on the same night.
Okay,
It would be from 5 p.m., because our first meeting starts at 5:30, so 5 p.m. I typically leave here on a good day. I'm typically home by 8, so it would be 3 hours for 2 meetings. If it is a large agenda item or a large project that comes up, it may take a little bit longer, but I anticipate once a month, approximately 3 hours. September is gonna be 2 months, but it wouldn't happen till
yeah,
next year anyway.
yeah.
I mean, I could do it this year because I have it in the budget, but I haven't talked to anybody, and that's gonna take some time to figure out, so,
That gives an idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it's 3 hours and it's the sheriff's department, I mean, we're talking probably less than $200 a meeting,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not much.
even at time and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would need to come before you though, once she figures an hourly rate, that way it's on your salary ordinance. If
Yes.
it goes over the part-time hourly rate that you have set.
Yeah, as long as, yeah, okay.
Okay. The only other thing that I wanted to just to bring to your attention was the amount of money that we have brought in year to date. Which I didn't get those numbers before, but as of yesterday's date, we have brought in a total of $180,000, $180,099.80 total. Of that, $152,690 was just building department fees, so permits. The other $26,926 was plan commission fees. That is down roughly $20,000 from this time last year. But our permits are down. So our permits are down, but the plan commission cases are up. And as of yesterday, Justin has already conducted 949 inspections this year. This time last year, it was 860. So we're doing more inspections, even though our permits are down, because we're making sure people are getting those inspections. Where last year, his total for the entire year was 1,600 inspections for the entire year. We're gonna do more than that this year with his inspections. We're catching a lot of people building without permits, and that's where things are adding up there too, so. What is that? Any questions? Sorry, that was fast. A lot of information I threw at you.
Do I have questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I was
You're fine.
having
Oh,
a wrinkle.
We were ahead.
You're fine.
Jackie was educating us, so while you're gone, so.
Okay, good.
Heather?
Hello.
Hello.
What do you want to start with? I have 3 budgets.
The first one we have in front of us is the county general recorder, which is just the elected salary at $53,236, which has no change in it, so that one's pretty simple. The next one is your 1160, your identification security, which has, 8,000, so you dropped it from 10,000 to 8,000, so you took it down 2,000.
When we collect the money for that anyway, that's a line item that we collect. We don't spend that much, and we're just putting it in there in case there would be some update or software or something.
Okay. And then your 1189.
Okay.
You have several cuts on that one.
Yeah, we tried to go through and really look at what we were doing in terms of, where, if we could make any cuts. And, definitely there were a few places that we could do that. We also lost an employee last year because they told us that we couldn't replace them and someone quit, and so she left, and so it's just Debbie and I have to.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? All right. yeah, I think it's that way across the board. I've talked to some other recorders' offices out and about, so.
Yeah, I think when we see interest rates start going down, I mean, we still are seeing mortgages, we still are seeing, you know, people buying and selling, but a lot of it is putting their, houses in trusts.
Yeah.
So that they can protect themselves for the future.
Yep.
So, does anybody have any questions then?
No, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right. Veteran.
Morning.
Good morning.
Everybody okay this morning?
How about you?
All right, this year's budget, or next year's budget, just practically the same as this last year. I did add in for maintenance and repairs, a little more money. I got a little scared this spring because I was having some computer and printer errors, but those seem to have gone away. So that one is up for debate. And then I added in some money, $16,000. That was, supposedly, we were supposed to move next year down to the new annex. And I put that in there for new furniture in there. So I don't know when we're gonna move, but it's gonna happen at some point in time. You know, I've still got that 4,000 in there for that computer that I've been telling you for 5 years is gonna die. You know, I've been beating on it, so it's still alive, so, but it's gonna go at some point in time. It's an antique, I think. So, it's all the same.
Well, I think on the furniture part and the move with the annex, I think that'll be taken into consideration for all the offices, so I don't think that's necessarily needed for your budget.
Okay, that's fine, you know. I just wanted to make sure that there was something there.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's anything that you have to worry about. The annex committee will, the commissioners and the council will take care of
It looks like
figuring
I
that out.
won't worry about it for next year.
So we can take that one, and you haven't spent anything out of there because you said your computer, so we can take that one back down to the 4,000, or you take it to the 2,000, whatever you guys wish to do.
Which one's that?
The equipment.
Equipment?
Mhm.
The 4,000 is in there for a new printer.
Okay.
You know, that's been there since, I put that in there, I think, my first year, because that printer is an antique, it's old, I keep beating on it, saying, you know, it's gonna die on me some point in time. But it's lived for 5 more years than what I thought it would.
What's the typical cost for a printer?
All the way from, depending upon what you get, all the way up to that 4,000, and even higher. Because this was worked into the network, you know, so it does the thing.
With your 4,000 that you have in your budget for this year, are you gonna go ahead and try and replace your computer?
Trying to replace a computer?
Well, since you haven't spent any of your money out of your equipment this year, are you gonna go ahead and use that 4,000 to replace your computer since
No.
it's giving you fits?
I got new computers about 2 to 3 years ago. Okay, I've had a couple of issues, but you know, we've got
They're
them
okay.
fixed.
Okay, so could you potentially purchase a printer out of your budget for this year?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's why it's in there. It's been in there every year. Or at least for 4 years. You know, hopefully it'll go for another couple of years. Everything else about the same. Everything else is the same.
Well, and so like your per diem and conferences, you spent 172 in 2024. You've got 700 in there, and you've only spent 112 out of that so far. So I don't know that that extra is necessarily needed in there. It doesn't sound
I
like.
never know when they're going to have, we used to have a couple of conferences before I got here down at Atterbury, and you were gone for 2 or 3 days. You know, so that's why that is still in there. They haven't done them since the pandemic, you know, but who knows that they may start them again. What we do now, we just go to the
And then your miscellaneous services, you've got 800 in there. You've spent 500 out of that one so far.
Right.
What are those services? What were those expenses for?
What were those?
Christina, do you know?
Do you have it?
His expenses for his 30360.
She can look. She was looking up something else in Gateway.
Okay.
Right now, I couldn't tell you. Miscellaneous services. I haven't spent anything out of that this year.
This is
Or
saying they
24.
wanna take the printer and the furniture. out of
Yeah,
that
you spent
$12,000.
$500 out of it.
For 25.
Okay,
For this year, yeah.
25.
Right, he's got
Budget,
the printer
okay.
and furniture.
Good question, Leslie, okay.
But he's
I don't,
also got
I,
4,000.
right now, I couldn't tell you.
No, this is for 2025, this is for 2026. Okay, so he increased it 16,000. Gotcha, yeah, okay, I'm with you now.
I don't know what others.
So, equipment,
Mileage and reimbursements, but 30360 is what it's been on so far this year.
Okay.
It's, tying it all up over here.
I didn't hear, I can't hear.
Mileage and reimbursement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we have, quarterly training usually up at Brownsville.
Which that could be moved to 30471 for mileage.
Yeah.
Or 30481, which is actual mileage reimbursement.
Right.
so equipment, since he's gonna buy the printer this year, are we gonna drop it down to what it was in 24, 2,000?
I'm fine with that.
Drop the equipment back to what it was in 2024 down to 2,000, since he's gonna use the 4,000 for this year to buy his printer.
Yeah.
Is he? Is that, he just said it was
I don't,
it was gonna
I
last
don't know
a couple
if I'll
more
need a
years.
printer this year or
He
not.
doesn't know.
Yeah, you know, I'm just waiting for that one to die.
Well,
You know, I'll keep beating on it till it's.
Yeah, if you have it, budgeted, it could be something that you're using your budget this year to go ahead and replace it, just so you can have a good one and not have to worry about it. That's my thought.
well, or we could take it back down to 2,000 when he does have it. You can always, if it's more than what you need, if you have or whatever, you can always come back and ask us for an additional for the extra cost if needed.
That would be my recommendation.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So take that one back down to 2,000.
Okay, so I gotta come back and pay for the money then.
Or work a deal on.
Okay. Hey, whatever.
So the repairs, maintenance, and support going back to 2,500.
He's spent 500 this year.
Down to 3,000.
Yeah. Just because he hasn't spent much of it, and in 24 is 120.
Okay. Thoughts? 1,000 repairs and maintenance?
It's fine.
That's 1,000.
And then the 30360, he's almost spent most of that now,
Yeah.
so leave that as is.
Are they, gonna change it to just mileage?
Do you wanna clean that up, Christina?
But if you just moved it to per diem and conferences, that would get him for mileage, because it's mileage for you going to conferences. or
Yes.
is it-
Yeah.
So
So-
that's where other departments take theirs from.
So technically, you could probably just zero out the 30360 and leave the 30471 as is.
To do mileage and stuff?
Okay. Anything else? Thoughts?
I think so.
Good? Any other questions? No? Thank you, sir.
Okay then, all right, everybody have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Committee corrections.
Hi, Ray.
Sure.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Community Corrections has 3 accounts with the county. The first is the 1122, that's the project income account. This is a non-reverting fund. We use the cash accrual accounting system. And it covers payroll, fringe benefits, supplies, and our services for the agency. The second account is the grant account that we receive funding from the Department of Corrections. This is a reverting account, meaning that any unspent funds, it goes back to the DOC at the end of the year. This fund alternates between 9130 in odd years and 9131 in even years, just so that the DOC can keep track of the grant funds that we spend every other year. And then the third fund, which you probably don't have in front of you, is the Community Transition Program, which is a reimbursement fund, kind of call it our rainy day fund. It's 1123. There's not a budget associated with that. So this is per diem that we receive from the Department of Corrections for individuals that are participating in the Community Transition Program, which is a reentry services program where we're releasing individuals from the DOC, and then we supervise them in the community for a short period of time before they go on to probation or parole. Now it hasn't been raining lately. We've only got about $4,700 in that account. So we recently purchased a car, I think a couple of years ago, so that kind of depleted that fund. So we're in the process of building it back up. Between the two funds, the grant makes up about 44% of our budget, and project income makes up the other 56%. We did receive notice from the Department of Corrections that we did not receive any funding cuts. So fortunately, we survived the $7 million cut that the state suffered in the Community Corrections Department. And so we will be receiving the $247,000 that we have been receiving for the past few years.
Jimmy, on your 9131, your deputy director, the 10245 account, I get it, it's a rotating one, but you didn't have anything in there for the 2024, for the 50,122.
I believe that her payroll appropriation number changed. So
Okay.
she used to be 10114, and we changed it, we needed
That
to
makes
change
sense.
it over to 10245.
Nope, I see that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I just was on peace of mind.
I think the 114 was designated for first deputy? Yeah, first
Right,
deputy.
yes, you're right. Okay,
And so the 245 was a better label for her position. So,
absolutely.
yeah. Now, unfortunately, the grant, the only thing paid with the grant is salaries.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, our collective salaries is more than what the grant will pay for. So there is a hybrid. We do split our salaries between the grant that we receive, and so there's a little bit in the project income as well. So unless you're adding those two together, that will show what we're actually making.
Cool.
As far as supplies and services are concerned, that has not changed in 20 years. We budget $130,000 for both of those series, and again, we haven't increased that in 20 years. So the only increases that we've seen are really with salaries and fringe benefits, and so really the only difference that you'll see between last year and this year is about a $9,000 difference in insurance premiums since those went up. We came in about 2% under budget last year, and expected to do the same this year.
Does anybody have any questions for Jimmy?
Pretty straightforward.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
very good.
you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Custodial.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Custodial, I didn't change anything for this year. We've
year, but we had unforeseen things come up this year.
What kind of projects are those?
New toilets, we got several toilets that are bad. That was part of what we was gonna do this year, but we had boiler issues
Yes, you
and
do.
everything else that went on this year, so.
So that'll be for next year you're looking
Yeah.
for?
Yeah, just upgrading, stuff like that. Like this year, we did change all paper towel and soap dispensers to make them touchless, so everybody's more friendly with not touching things and germs and things like that. Now, we got a lot of issues with some toilets that are just old and wore out. So we wanna get them changed and do some shrubs and different things outside to dress up the building.
Yeah, I've noticed the shrubs and stuff haven't been kept up.
These over here haven't been trimmed yet, we're actually in the process of working on that.
Any reason why they haven't been trimmed yet?
Biggies, because we've been busy with the roof, the boilers, the water softener system, everything else that's been going on. We just painted all the handrails, got all them repainted.
I saw that.
We're in the process of patching some concrete cracks and things in the sidewalks and things like that. But yeah, that's on the agenda for today, actually, to start getting this side trimmed. We've trimmed the bushes over here on this west side. And on the north side, there's still a few more that need to be trimmed up, which they'll be done before the weekend for the music fest, so everything looks good for that. Yeah, pretty much sums it up.
I haven't, I've talked to a few that, because they're in here more than me. The one thing I have noticed that the floors, polishing, they just used to get polished on a regular basis. I don't know that that's been done in a long time.
When I come in, they never have put wax on the floors because of the type of tile it is. We can never get it all taken off and redone. We do run floor scrubber, and that's my fault for not keeping up. Like I said, I've been running around with everything else and trying to keep up with that too. I try to come in and do that. I need to do it more often. I try to do it twice a month. Come in before everybody gets here and run floor scrubbers and clean floors and things like that. So we've been basically trying to keep everything mopped. Now that things have slowed down a little bit, we can get back to doing more on the floors and cleaning that up. I've also noticed some of the walls need cleaned really well, things like that too.
Does anybody have any other questions?
Basically on the floor, Stephanie, we got a floor scrubber that we put chemicals in, and it has a scrubber that scrubs everything up, vacuums it up, squeegees it, things like that.
Okay.
What we usually do, and I try to do that twice a month. Like I said, this year, up till this point, we've been so busy that with other projects that I haven't had the chance to do that, and that's on me, that's totally my fault.
Oh, there was no blame. I was
will
just
do
curious
better.
about it,
Yeah, no,
so.
I'm going to do a better job of getting those squared away because I have noticed myself that there's several areas that need addressed.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Break time.
It is break time now. We'll recess for a break and be back at 10:25 or 10:45. see if we can get Sarah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
This is Sarah.
Hi Sarah, this is Stephanie with the County Council.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We're good. So, I'll just be brief because I know you're out of town with a conference or whatever. We've got your 4942, the LEPC budget with no changes here.
That's correct.
We have your county general 361. We have a 50,000 that is not an increase that we have been noted on in here.
Okay.
You've got an increase for 700 for telephone.
Yes, that is because I'm new to the position and required a phone and a hotspot.
Okay. We have an increase in $1,000 for your miscellaneous services.
Yes, that is for supplies and that type of thing for the emergency response team in case of activations and disasters in the community.
Okay. And then $1,000 increase in your repairs, parts, and services.
Yes, for the vehicles.
Okay. And then you have put in $500 as a new item for equipment.
Yes, so the equipment, the laptops, radios, that type of thing in the EOC are aging out.
Okay. And you think $500 will cover those kind of expenses?
Well, I'm hoping to supplement that with grant funding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. Does anybody have any other questions for her? Do you have anything that you would like to add for us?
No, I am brand new to this and it's brand new as a full-time, so I think this first year is gonna be a lot of learning, where there might be potential gaps and moving forward from there.
All right, I completely agree. It's a new process.
Right.
All right, well, if nobody has anything else, then we will let you get back to your education.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. That one was simple. This is a big increase. 911. Are you here for 911? No?
No, he's here.
I know he's here. This one does not sustain as submitted. So we do, bless you.
Bless you.
I heard that.
Yeah. These don't work. I don't know what we're gonna do, but these do not work as submitted. Is this where we need to shift money, Christina, Jackie,
What are we talking about?
our 911, the PSAP?
So your 911, no, 911 and PSAP both, fund. What I caution you on is PSAP is, budgeting $20,000 more than they're
bringing
gonna
in.
bring in. And E911 is budgeting $200,000 more than they're bringing, 140,000 more than they're bringing in. So, next year 911 will fund.
So do you,
And it would be, now, it will be very close, funding both of them together, moving something out of 911 into PSAP. We're getting to a point where, and we used to have a much larger cash operating balance in.
and I know a lot of that is because of the decline in landlines, so they don't have those fees there as part of it,
PSAP is because of those additionals that bought the equipment.
the equipment.
Which is what they,
Yeah.
Which is for, right.
But the 911 funds haven't went down that much. I mean, there were, what too.
right? Yeah,
It may be down a little, but it's not
okay.
significantly. I can tell you here, just give me a second, I can tell you.
Well, you look that up and we'll let him explain
Okay.
things. So the first one that we have in front of us is your 1222, your statewide 911. So if you want to go over that one, most of that looks like it's all salaries.
I'm sorry, what's that?
It looks like that one's all salaries.
Yes. All of it, all salaries except for mine and my deputy director. The only thing is I wanna keep supervisors. I don't have any right now, but I do have 2 more senior dispatchers. We're kinda waiting until somebody proves himself to be a supervisor to move him up into that role. And then I think I'm asking for more overtime pay due to the fact that now that account, we also have to pay holiday time out of. I don't believe even the additional 5,000 would be enough to even just cover the holiday time. And then, because as of right now, for this year alone, I've already added an additional 25,000 into our overtime fund, and we're still sitting at about 18,000 left for the rest of the year, and that's including holidays, and 2024's holiday time that people are still sitting on and not using because they won't be paid out for. So, what else was there? Other than that, I don't think I would really ask for anything different on that.
And then your 1235,
All right, 1235. Don't believe, the only thing I asked for extra in difference from last year is training. I'm just wanting to be able to send our dispatchers to more diverse training and help them become better dispatchers. And that was only like $2,000, so.
and then you had a 51,750 increase in your repairs and maintenance.
Okay, let's see here, and repairs and maintenance, oh yeah, that's because of the 2 new towers we're building, we're gonna have an additional repairs and maintenance cost for those. With the generator and radio equipment is gonna be at each one, so. The generator will be serviced, I believe, twice a year. There'll be a generator on both sites.
And then you had an $1,800 increase in your utilities.
Utilities, that's to keep up with everything, basically cost of the utilities, they're all going up, so that's to keep up with that.
One thing I'm noticing is, the budgets that were submitted. If you look at 1235, there's only 2 salaries in there, the director and the deputy director. If you take it times the percentages for the benefits accounts are way too high.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Now, is that because my salary was dropped from the director's salary
No,
last
you
year?
have 71,000 for you, and then deputy director, 63,969. That's the only 2 salaries coming out of 1235. You take that times your percentages, like social security is 44,000, you drop that down to 9. PERF is 79,500, that can be dropped down to 16, and Medicare is 10,300, can drop down to 3,000. I think the reason why that one is in there, it's kind of like duplicated, because this year it is all in 1235, and for next year, a big chunk of the salaries was moved to 1222.
So are the 1222 percentages correct?
I checked those, and like social security has 46,950. The percentage, I just rounded up to 37.
Well, correcting those percentages will help some
Where?
in the,
If you take the two salaries that are in 1235 times the percentages, 10121 would go from 44,000
That's
down
true,
to 9.
but we're overspending in 1222 where we put the benefits back in.
Yeah, they're duplicated to like an extra $100,000.
Right, but do we want them in 1222 where it's not gonna fund next year, or do we wanna leave it in PSAP where we're closer?
Well, I don't think we've made that decision yet.
I mean,
We're just saying that
I
the
mean,
numbers
but
are.
that's what I'm saying. Moving it back might not be,
I mean, just correcting the amounts will be my
Percentages would be
first,
the same, right?
yeah, I was only just
well,
saying,
we
just,
wouldn't correct, we won't correct them if we leave the benefits from 1222 in 1235.
So we're correcting from 1222, because they're listed on both pages, not the correct amounts.
Right, that would help 1222, correct, if you zeroed them back out. I mean, you can pay them from wherever, but next year they're gonna go back to PSAP,
So,
because you won't be able to fund.
So 10121, if you added all the salaries together, you would need a total of 46,000. 10124, you would need 82,000, and 10128, you would need 12,000. So then you need to just decide which one you want to pay that from.
is that the combined from both?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
that's what I was
That's what, I was making sure, but,
So we would get rid of these,
I mean,
yeah.
it's, yeah,
Cause the 1222 is not funding, but so we'd put it in the PSAP, so we're closer.
yeah, that one's better, but.
Still not great.
So what do you recommend?
Me, I would leave it in PSAP. It's not gonna fund next year
Right.
if you don't. It gives you a little bit higher cash balance in 911, but you can take one-time purchases from that instead of ongoing operating
Right.
expenses. That would be what I would recommend. And then if you have to lower a one-time expense or lower something down, it's possible, you know, obviously the one big ticket item is the repair and maintenance, is up to 286. You might not spend more than you're bringing in, you could take 20,000 from there. In the PSAP.
Yeah, but they're still gonna be short
Where?
in the repairs and maintenance.
So we need the 286, that's what's absolutely needed?
Yes.
For the two new
Okay.
towers.
That's not the place to take it.
Mm-mm.
That's repairs and maintenance on all of our computers, all of our servers,
And the two
our
new
radio
towers.
equipment.
Last year, the telephone almost doubled.
What's that?
Last year, the telephone budget almost doubled. From 46 to 87. You left it the same, but are you?
How much is that?
Did you use that 87 this year?
I'm getting pretty close to it. Yeah, because our phone bill alone is $600 a month just for Metro. And then we also have a whole bunch of different internet services that come through there that come out of that as well. So yeah, I'm getting pretty close to that. Actually,
That's crazy, $87,000 for phone.
600 a month is close to 87,000.
The one factor that's not taken into consideration here is that sometimes, once a year, we get extra money from 911. In '24, it was $60,000. But we may not get that every year, so we don't budget that.
Right.
Alright, so if we take the, what he's looking, if we take the benefits out of the 1222, then
Mhm.
that fund is in good shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that fund would fund
to still have to come yet this year?
Yeah,
Are you,
I believe that was for the towers, the 350,000.
is for the towers?
Okay, so that needs to stay in. And again, that's a one-time thing.
Right.
You were asking, I'm sitting at just under 40,000 left on my telephone. So,
Yeah, you're quicker than the auditor's office over there.
I printed this out this morning, so.
I just wanna give
Yeah, I-
Evelyn crap. Hey, 40,000, what's been spent out is what's left there. I know he just told us. You're slow.
She has a whole bunch more accounts over there, I just got 2.
How much the damn sheriff's department for the phone?
Well, it's more than just the phones, it's like the 911 operating phones.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it's not just
well,
cell
he's
phones.
comparing it to the sheriff's
Oh, yeah, no,
department.
it's not just cell phones, it's
It's like the actual 911,
phone, the
which,
internet.
yeah,
all that
it's
stuff.
like everything.
Yeah, everything, like, we have like 2 or 3 different internet services, kind of redundancy for us, so.
Do you need 2 or 3 different ones?
Lots.
Okay. Well, if it's redundant, then why do we need them?
Well, it's redundant in case one fails.
Goes down. No, I understand that.
And trust me, dispatchers don't like it when things fail.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
He's still comparing.
Well,
Okay,
the 1222,
it's,
we cut
okay.
the benefits, and that one will help that.
We transfer to
Yeah.
the,
Leave it in the
So
PSAP.
we're
moving it to,
zero amount benefits in 1222.
Yeah,
yeah,
you told us to.
yeah, so the 10121 would be 46,000. And then,
I think,
didn't show, 46,000? And then the perf would be 82.
Jails.
That brings us right on par with new money coming in.
for the 1222,
In 1222, that would be a 586,000 budget with a 582,000 coming in.
so.
And then if they get that extra money in there, that's where you can buy some of that one-time purchase stuff. And it looks like from what he spent, what was spent in '24 and what has been spent so far this year, there is some extra that's gonna be in the health insurance account.
Like, you know, we could cut it by 20,000? I don't know. Yes? Really? You're giving me, okay?
I don't carry the county's health insurance.
I don't either.
I get it for free.
$52,000 left in that account last year.
So do we, so.
How much?
They have 52,000 left? So recommendation on what to cut, 20,000, 50,000, what do you think? I don't wanna cut them too short.
Mm-mm.
Jails, 50,000.
We can go to 25, I think, I'm comfortable with that.
I don't do that in my head.
I have 237, bud.
No, see, it came to write it right.
10122.
Yeah, 237.
I like math.
I do not.
That's still 60,000 more.
Not in my head.
for the year.
237.5?
Yep.
Yep. That's what they tell me. I'm trusting them.
I concur.
So, do we also need to increase or adjust the benefits over in the 1235? Or, because what you,
I'll adjust those again once raises are figured.
that's fine. That's fine. So does that help fix that then?
Yeah, that, now you're, at 949 budgeted to 958 coming in.
Oh, so that's not, yeah.
you have anything for us? Thank you. What,
The social security, 46,000. The health life is 237,500. Perf is 82,
Yeah, but we didn't
and
change those
Medicare is
numbers.
12.
The only one we changed out of this was the health.
We changed, well,
I
I thought,
googled notes.
We'll recalculate
Yeah.
those when
yeah,
the
I thought
actual
we
salaries
combined them
come
all.
in.
No. We just took it out of that one, and then she'll refigure those numbers over here after she does the raises or whatever.
I figured them based on the numbers she provided us.
So that's still changed though.
I included the amounts that's in the current budget and the raises in there, and that's where I got those figures.
And I wrote down what you said.
I did too.
But then don't you get sassy, ma'am.
But we didn't officially change them. She's gonna change them again.
I know she's going to.
I don't wanna have to separate you kids.
Hey.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Fine. What do we got now?
We have the
Prosecuting
Prosecutor.
attorney. What time's he supposed to be here?
we're early again. It's what? I think it's courts. Hello.
Hello, looking fancy.
I know.
Sir?
Whoever is up, we will ask that you speak at the podium, please.
Podium and everything.
I know.
We watch that live stream now.
Very formal.
Yes. This is live streamed, so no pressure.
So, do you have a particular department you want to start with first?
We'll just go with us first, and then Vicki can do 4D.
Okay.
So,
Okay, for your county general prosecutor, you have increased the manager and the administrative assistant salary.
Yes, so, first thing I guess to point out is, there is a missing line item, that's not on here that kind of makes the numbers off a little bit. So, from 2025, and 24, the recovery raw treatment program, that was a $25,000 expense from county general. That was on those budgets from those 2 years. That's not on this budget. We're not requesting that this year. So there should be a $25,000 decrease from 25 to 26. So that's, I mean, it's not within what we're requesting, so it doesn't change that number, but it does change the number from last year. So it's not a $26,000 increase, it's a $1,500 increase. So it does change that. So basically, the numbers are about the same as last year. The only difference is what the money is for. So we're not asking for the recovery raw $25,000. We're asking that $25,000 be used to pay those two salaries out of county general, rather than being paid out of diversion money. I don't think the diversion money should be the source of the county police income. I kind of look back at that stuff. It seems like Tim's thought with that years ago was that he was going to be able to supplement income for the employees with that diversion money. And they actually, but it wasn't clear that that was a legitimate source or a legitimate expense for diversion money. So they actually passed a county ordinance to make it allowable, and it was supplementing income with diversion money. I think at this stage, you know, we've had the wage study, and we've determined what the employees should be making, and that's set, and I can't supplement or change it. So I think that needs to be paid out of county general, so that's our request. And, you know, that's not guaranteed money, that diversion money's not guaranteed money. That can dry up at any point, and frankly, it's only a matter of time before we legalize marijuana, and that 2025 adopted budget says 192,799. It was actually 217,799 because there was a $25,000 expense for recovery raw is not. So that's a $1,505 change. Any questions about that one?
Nope.
And then the only change on the diversion is obviously the reduction of not paying those two salaries out of diversion, but paying them out of cash.
How come only part of them are split? So for like pretrial with the investigator, first deputy and secretary are still part of their salary is still out of the pretrial, but the manager and administrative assistant moved.
Yeah, so I think, our thinking was that we wanted to try to baby step it. So we're kind of not doing the recovery raw money. That's basically offsetting almost equally, their two salaries, so it's not much of a hit to the county. And those two other positions specifically, the one is the administrator of the pretrial diversion money, so it makes a little more sense to pay the person administrating pretrial diversion out of pretrial diversion money. And then the other one is the investigator, which the wage study said she was overpaid, based upon the wage study, so I think supplementing her overpaying her with diversion money, made sense. So that's why those two are not included in having county paid.
Thank you.
Okay. No more questions?
Mm-mm.
Yes, ma'am?
This is very
So
awkward.
the recovery law, was that dropped to help facilitate this, or that was dropped because it wasn't getting the results you wanted?
So I think our issue, I would say it's because I did not see it as worth the money that we were spending. So our issue with it was, we haven't gotten enough people into it. And it's because of the nature of a diversion. So the benefit of a diversion is you do all this work and then you don't get a felony conviction. So if you already have 4 felony convictions, there's no real benefit to a diversion to you. So we have to find individuals dealing with addiction that have gotten into the system and it's their first offense. They don't have felony convictions. So that's been a limited group of people that we've been allowed to help with a diversion program. So I think, we've helped 20-some people, and I think it's been successful, but I don't think, we've spent, between the county and my office, we spent $50,000 a year for 2 years, so $100,000 to help 20 people. I don't think it's very cost efficient. So we're in the process of trying to rework that to make it have a broader impact, I guess. But we're going to, whatever that is, we're going to just flip the bill with diversion in the future.
Thank you.
The next one we have is the Title 4D.
Presenting to you the same budget I presented to you the last 13 years. Nothing has really changed. We did some restructure with our positions at the beginning of the year when we took on 2 new people. But, and actually it was less money for the county, so at that point. So we're basically, ours is reimbursed 66%, of course, so out of our budget of 233,000, I think the county only pays like 60
questions on the unappropriated? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Minutes.
Does anybody need a quick break since we're early and the courts are not down here yet? Cause they're probably in court.
Yeah, Tammy's gonna be pushing it to get here at the designated time anyway. She's gonna be represented since Judge Bridges won't be able to.
Cause she's in court also, so, and that's fine, that's not a big deal. Yeah. Come on, auditor.
Well, the only change I have in my budget is repairs and maintenance. It just kind of makes sense to combine the treasurer and, she's been paying for years, the software to allow. We get the bill in and then we split it. It's just a lot more efficient just to have it in my budget, that way we make sure it gets paid, I try to make it, gets allowed, so we get a discount.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also increased, because of now having a time clock. And I just wanted to put it in my budget instead of the commissioner's budget.
So I see in your office supplies, you've only spent 6,600, but yet you still have 10,000 in there.
I didn't know you were.
Do you have any planned purchases for the remainder of the year?
I have spent more than 50% of my, supplies already this year, yes. See, that's what I get for trying to finish. Actually, for a while, it took us to, use the supplies that were in there when I became auditor.
Right, from previous purchases.
And for
Well-
some reason too, we had a lot of, legal size paper.
Right, and big yellow envelopes. And big yellow envelopes.
Yes, I've been using, finally down to the last, we had, we opened the supply cabinets, there's like a stockpile of different things, like,
Now, do you keep paper down here? I know you stock all this stuff.
yes, that's the other thing too, I stock this
I
one,
know.
and then anytime for all the commissioner packets and the council packets and the budget binders and.
Do you keep spare paper hidden anywhere in here in case it's out and you guys don't know it?
That I did not accept.
Just thought.
Hide it in drawers.
That was just a thought there, so.
We've also thought about putting, if there's a possibility to put a code on that because somebody's using it and copying a lot. Because it's here for basically for council and commissioner board meetings. We're not making hardly any copies, but it's somehow having over 1,000 to 2,000 a month.
Oh, I mean, Rick and I have made copies for our miscellaneous meetings, but not that much. No, we're,
Some of the other meetings that are being held in here, they are utilizing them.
okay. Is there any questions for the auditor?
Just to be nosy,
Can I have a raise?
the equipment in 2024, was that for like, it was so high, was that like your new time reporting system or whatever?
New server,
Okay, I was just nosy.
it's a new server for, the program and stuff that the treasurer and I use.
Got nothing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for not taking over too much. We can do the first year.
Yeah, absolutely. council.
You see a big line item in there, it's just a number I threw in
Yeah.
as a, number holder for all the mineral raises.
Yeah.
So obviously that'll get adjusted.
Our dues went down? That's unheard of.
I looked to see what you were paying, 'cause you only paid 146 in '24, and even with the increases in salaries, it was less than the 500, so that's the only reason I decreased it. I mean, it's not that much.
Oh, no, it's fine. Does anybody have any questions for this item of budget? Anything you wanna see decreased, increase, or a new line item?
And we have new board members that are gonna be attending conferences. I didn't know if
Yeah.
that's gonna be something that needs to be increased for
Yeah.
registration and hotels.
I just thought we could look at the salary restriction.
And that's fine too, yeah. And we can do that now, or we could do that when we adjust whatever.
Yeah, we can wait, I just got phone, anything on there.
What about the secretary's salary, how the commissioners increased the, that?
Yeah.
As well as looking at that also. Do you have a suggestion?
I mean, we have half as many meetings as they do.
Well, but, so she also still attends extra meetings. We do have half as many as she did, as they do, but our RDC stuff that we have, Rick and I are both on, she has to attend those also. I don't know, is there any other extra meetings that we've added?
You have your regular meetings, you have the budget workshop, it's a lot to prepare for this
Mhm.
meeting. And then I will have to start doing the RDC
Mm-hmm. Coaching.
and all the extra information you want, looking for.
I request a lot at times.
They,
I
had
know
it
I'm
at
a lot.
10-5.
This is a starting point,
You want
since we
her
meet
at
once a
10-5?
month, I think
That's
twice
what
a
the
month.
commissioner is.
Oh.
I would
commissioner
start
said
there and then possibly
We don't have to
adjust
approve
it
that
for
either.
variances
So.
and requirements besides just the normal meetings.
I don't know. What number did you say? Did you say a number?
No, I didn't, I
Okay.
just said since we have
The extra.
one monthly and they have two monthly,
Mm-hmm.
that would be where I would start at, I guess.
Okay.
Certainly open for discussion from everybody.
Okay. Well, let's put a pin in that. I know you're here in between court hearings, so.
Oh, we finished for the day.
Oh, okay. Any other thoughts, any changes, any you wanna come back to? We don't have to make any decisions at the moment, so we got salaries to look at also. Okay. Superior Court.
It's just me, judges.
If you would go ahead and at the podium, please. I know, it's official now.
Look at me.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You really don't have a whole lot of changes. You've got a $500 increase for uniform allowance.
Yeah, we unified that with circuit court, for all of our bailiffs.
Cause we increased it. No, we didn't increase it. Okay.
They asked to increase it for 2025.
That's what I was thinking.
And then you left it the same, because it's the same as what the sheriff's department is. But I think, wasn't one of the reasons why you were requesting it because that they're newer and didn't have any uniforms that are this more expensive?
Yes.
I mean, I know the uniforms are expensive. Okay. Your judicial education increase?
Yes, we, actually, I had to transfer money, or I actually had to use money out from another account, because just the cost of going to conference and
Yeah.
et cetera has just raised so much.
Yeah.
We hadn't had to raise it in the last, 3 or 4 years, so we made it this far.
thank you for breaking it out as why your increases are.
Yes. A lot of it's just because I had to transfer money from one to another already this year, so I figured if I ask for more for next year, I don't have to transfer, and then, you know, maybe by the end of the year, I won't have to start asking for more money out of the account I transferred it out of.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any other questions? Anything else you want to add to anything? Okay.
I got a question on that. Specifically, conflict of interest cases, 2024, that was 0, and 25,000 for last year.
That was because we did from, so we have two different budgets. We have the PD budget and we have our Superior Court, and I just took because we only have like two different ones out of the PD budget and put it into our Superior Court, so we just deal with one budget instead of two separate ones.
Okay, so
That makes
it's always been there.
It's always been there, it was just in a
Yep,
separate
okay.
budget.
Anything else? Okay. And then you've got your Title 40 incentive, which didn't change. Do you have anything else for us? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, ladies. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Well, I know Circuit's not here, but you guys are here, so,
You should walk in and
okay. Oh, look at that.
Right on.
This is really official, we're on TV too.
We are.
I guess the best way, this is Casey, who Stacks, who is my office manager, so she helps me tremendously put this budget together. So I guess, do you all have any questions specifically you want to ask me? I can tell you that our budget is, I believe, identical to last year, except for maybe we increased the deputies' clothing allowance. We've got a new deputy or bailiff, and so I just increased it slightly because we gotta go buy some more stuff, you know. The sheriff wants the deputies to wear collared shirts, so we gotta get a couple more shirts. I think that's the only thing that might change.
So your increase was 250 and the
Superior was
Superior's-
500.
They have
Superior's-
two bailiffs.
Oh, okay.
So it's all two.
250.
Never mind.
Okay.
I'm just one clarification. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Your public defender circuit court didn't change, well, $1. What is that, Christina?
Which one?
Public, the 529.
Went down $1.
It's just rounding.
Weird
Oh.
looking.
Payroll.
It's weird looking.
It's $1, we'll take it.
35 family court project didn't change. The 30,
Right.
go ahead.
Nothing changed. If you have questions about what the specific thing does, I can obviously answer that. Most should be able to.
Does anybody have any questions in regards to the circuit court side?
Mm-mm.
Thank you, sir. The next we have is juvenile probation.
I have one question for you, and I know it's just kind of individual. Do you all, our copiers that we have in juvenile probation and the circuit court, they're about individual? So we got the notice, you know, that now they don't fix them.
Right.
There's no more parts for those.
Mhm.
So we're gonna buy or lease. And I kind of ran through the courthouse yesterday, just talking to all the individual officers, not all of it. Most of them. But whether you buy or you lease, you know, it's the
50/50 on,
yeah, you guys have any preference at all?
we do not, I do not have a preference.
Okay, well, I was just kinda like, hoping maybe if we eventually get all under one umbrella, one place, maybe they can start cutting us down better. So,
we've purchased the ones in the
Yeah.
auditor's office over the years, off and on, so, and then handed them down elsewhere, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of hand-me-downs.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And our holding of juveniles is under ours, holding of juveniles for you new folks.
Yes, please explain that, because I know that changes.
Okay. Holding of juveniles, so it's jail for a juvenile, and it's temporary. And if we can place someone there, we place them there, and it's about $200 a day. There's one in Vigo County, there's one in Johnson County. Those are by far the main two we use. So there's a little dance. He sends that at times, the probation officer, the judge, the police officer all say, Brian Barry's kid needs to go to detention, right? But we call and they say, hey, there's no room in the inn. And so what really it is, sometimes is that they do have capacity, but they don't have staff to watch the kids. So a lot of times, we are, have to put them on an ankle bracelet, which is through our Putnam County Community Corrections. So it kind of keeps track of them, but they've cut off the bracelet in the past, or they've just not violated terms. But there's a bigger balance in it than there was before. It's not, we don't use it because we can't find a place to put them. So that's what holding the juveniles is. And there's another placement we do, is residential placement. And I think that, like everybody here, I think everybody's familiar with what it used to be a long time ago when I first started, the Office of Department of Child Services, but ran through each county, now it's by the state. So we still have to go through a big song and dance, so to speak, with a consultant to whether we can place a child in a residential placement facility. And that is not as significant as far as their restrictions. So a detention facility is just that, it has limits around it, they can't get out. It's a little short. And then we also have like in residential placement facilities for long-term needs, like that is not getting what they need at home a lot of times, we have them. And Jamal would be a good example. There's no fence, they can walk away from it. They have long-term significant needs, more of a social need, family need than you're a bad kid. They've done something, sometimes we have kids that literally do bad things because they want to get out of it. That's the two differences, that we only pay, the county only pays for the detention. And it just reverts back to y'all. You can use it like everything else. That make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
One thing else I forgot to do, I want to share, I apologize, the proposal, we might put somebody in here that is not a merit deputy, but a deputy that's gone through the training. So, I know commissioners have a difficult job with the, trying to man and keep the right number of people, but not too many people, through the magnometer and everything. So, if it's gonna be something that helps out the whole butter good, I told Sheriff I would, support his request. If, that's what something, council is gonna give the commissioners continued control over that, or the sheriff's gonna take over the whole thing, I don't know what.
Well, ideally, the sheriff
Sheriff.
would be over it, but I don't know that that's
I don't
happened
think-
yet.
yeah.
Well, I know that, I just made sure that, the sheriff asked me about that, and so I just wanted to make sure I said that.
All right, thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Maybe I'll come back. Go ahead, Renee.
Okay, so my budget's pretty simple, it's probation. These are things that we don't ask really any county money at all. So as long as we can do that, we're open. Right now, I mean, our juveniles we have, a lot of them are being raised by grandparents, great-grandparents, and that have absolutely no money at
You added drug screens for
Yes.
4,000?
Yes, yes, because we're doing a lot more drug screens, a lot more, we do a call-in line where everybody, including parents, have to call in every day, and then they report to our office if they have to. Not every parent, but, you know, if they have a drug problem, then they're all coming in and taking a drug test. So it's costing more and more and more money to do that, so just wanna make sure I'm not coming and having you guys move money around, et cetera, for us, so. My budget is probably about, I think it was 38,000 last year, I think I did 47 or 40-something this year, only because as Judge Headley said, we are gonna have to purchase a new copier. I mean, our copier's on the last leg, and I think we got ours in like 2012. So, I mean, it's held up pretty well, and it's still working, and we're gonna milk it as long as we can, but, yeah.
And then you had an increase in your per diem and conferences?
Yes, yes, because we ended up going, I may not end up using it, but again, I wanted to make sure we just have a lot more trainings and things we have to go to that's mandated by the state. I mean, we have so many hoops to jump through anymore on paperwork. Some days I feel like that's all we do is shuffle papers. So it's getting a little tougher in that aspect, but, so yeah, we just wanna make sure we're able to go to those conferences, and we try to pick all the free ones we can go to if we can.
Yeah, there's not very
Yeah.
many of those.
Yeah, there's not very many of those, or we're kinda lucky that sometimes Jamie might pick up our tab too, since we sell community corrections board, so.
Do we have any other questions for Renee?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, all right, and I guess I'll put my 2 cents in for the sheriff, and I would support deputy in the courthouse too, that was armed and walked around and was there.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
All right. Probation, chief?
Oh, I
Teresa?
guess I'll be Judge Headley and say, I'll say the same thing I always say. We're pretty blessed to have our jobs and blessed to make the salaries we make. So I know it's tight this year, and I've heard rumors you guys are gonna make some big cuts, but if there's things you can do for the courthouse employees to earn a little bit more money, I would really, we're mandated by the state, but, of course, the courthouse employees, if there's anything you can do to help them, I would really support that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, ma'am?
Okay.
You're up.
Okay. My probation users fees budget went down this year about, down about $41,000. That's due to having different employees that are not as expensive. Some of our other employees that went to other counties, so we hired new employees that their salaries are not as high. So that's where we save some money on our adult probation users fees this year. Our county general, it stayed the same as it was last year. And our alcohol and drug program, it also took a decrease of $26,000. And that was due to our new alcohol and drug person does not take insurance. So that saved that program a lot of money. So, that's our budgets. That I've come before you today. Our 1006 grant has to be changed because we did not receive the money that we expected from the 1006 grant. All probation departments, the sheriff's department, a lot of departments did not make the money, were not awarded the grants that they thought that were going to be awarded this year. So the state cut those grants, and we were cut about $29,772. So I did not know that at the time that I put in for my budget, so did send everyone a paper, asking, I went to a, got together with Indiana Department of Corrections, and they suggested that we go to our county councils and ask them to, pick up whatever funded amount that we could not get funded by them. And our amount was $29,772.
So is there any place else where this funding could come from? I mean, you know, like Renee said, we've got lots of cuts and this, that, and the other to do. So is there another source for, that this possibly could come from? Because I would be in favor of that happening. I don't know about the rest of the board, but I'd be in favor of us seeing if there's another source for this to come from.
There are other sources that I might be able to check out,
Okay.
so,
I would appreciate it if you could let us know whether that would work or not. That would be greatly appreciated.
there's a couple other sources that I would be able to check out,
Okay.
those sources,
All right, I appreciate that.
okay?
And just let us know.
Okay, and then I also did ask that, that we increase the probation officers. I think you all got that by $3,000. And that request would be $19,500, which would be drawn from the department probation users fees. And that is due to, the extensive training that our probation officers have, and I think I gave you all a copy of that. So, is there any other questions I can answer to you about my rates?
Was the drug screen funding coming from something else? Cause for 24 and 25, it was 0, and then this year it's 25,000.
No, it should never have been zero.
That's what Renee was just talking about, where they added to their budget.
Okay.
It should have always been there, yeah. It's because we, do so many drug screens. Now, we get paid for those drug screens, and it goes back into our budget too, Amanda, so it's not just, it shows 25,000, but it goes back to our budget.
And your repairs and maintenance have increased from 5,000 up to 8,000, Teresa? Your repairs and maintenance?
That's because, we are separate from the rest of the county, or some of the county, and Judge Headley got somebody to take over, and it's very expensive. And so, that's why the maintenance increased. It's very expensive. So Judge Headley and us, he put on this, separate maintenance program for our computers and stuff. And so we are not on the same one that the other county employees are on.
Yeah.
It's very expensive,
I knew that he had switched.
yes.
Anybody else have questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, all your work. We appreciate it.
Thank you for all yours.
Okay.
Is there, anything else? So, do you wanna go ahead and do lunch break, work through it? What is everybody, what's the will of everybody? Go early, come back early?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jackie
Yeah,
wants
girl.
to leave.
Sames.
So what time do we wanna be back?
12:30.
40 minutes.
12:30.
Oh, we try and get out of here, Jackie. I gotta go back to work.
That's fine.
To start it an
Yep.
hour earlier than better.
All right, we'll be back at 1, break for lunch. Thank you very much.
I was with you, Wayne. 12:30. Oh, I know. We blame Christina.